We'll now call this meeting to order. Could we have roll call, please?
Commissioner Hoffman?
Present.
Commissioner Asper?
Present.
Commissioner Heinzeling? Commissioner Lamore?
Present.
Commissioner Wenzel?
Present?
Commissioner Swartout?
Present.
Commissioner Moore?
Present.
Commissioner Levens?
Present.
Quorum present.
If you now rise for the Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner Levens.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now, Grace will still lead us in our opening prayer.
Heavenly Father, I thank you for this meeting, and I thank you for every like-minded individual who is here to fulfill the tasks for your kingdom. I pray that you bless us as we do not walk in the step of the wicked, but we delight in your law. I pray that we meditate on your law day and night so that we can be blessed in our meetings. Let your law be evident in our meetings so that we can prosper. Amen.
Amen.
Now, if I could get a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Moved by Swartout, supported by Hoffman. Any questions on the agenda? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, if I could get a motion for approval of the minutes.
So moved.
Moved by Lamore. Oh, I'm sorry, waive the reading.
Yes.
And supported by Levens. Are there questions, additions, corrections to the minutes? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Asper?
Yes.
Commissioner Lamore?
Yes.
Commissioner Wenzel?
Yes.
Commissioner Swartout?
Yes.
Commissioner Moore?
Yes.
Commissioner Levens?
Yes.
Commissioner Hoffman?
Yes.
Motion carries.
We now move into our first component of public comment. Are there citizens who wish to address the board? Seeing none, we have no resolution, special tributes, and presentation. We'll now move into finance matters. Item number one is the payment of the May 21, 2025 accounts payable current claims report in the amount of $1,317,026.07. Could I get a motion, please?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Moved by Swartout, supported by Lamore. Now we'll turn it over to Sue.
Good evening. On page number 1, vendor number 20600, LexisNexis. It's the monthly subscription for the inmate online law library. Vendor number 121021, Lucas County Coroner's Office, contractual autopsy services. On page number 2, vendor number 130902, Mercy Memorial Hospital. It's pre-employment testing for various departments. Vendor number 200426, the 53rd Group. It's monthly contractual custodial services. Page number 3, vendor number 721448, Northern Log Supply. It's operating supplies for the museum. And on page number 5, vendor number 902723, the Huntington National Bank, scheduled debt payments paid through the Drain Commission, and that's the end of my list.
Other questions? Thank you. Hearing none, roll call?
Commissioner Lamore?
Yes.
Commissioner Wenzel?
Yes.
Commissioner Swartout?
Yes.
Commissioner Moore?
Yes.
Commissioner Levens?
Yes.
Commissioner Hoffman?
Yes.
Commissioner Asper?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Item number 2 is a letter dated May 14, 2025 from Mr. Michael Wolford, Equalization Director, recommending the 2025 county government millage rates for summer and winter tax bills, separate supporting letters provided for each millage rate. Good evening.
Good evening, Commissioners. Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's just the L 4029 tax rate request for the county millage rates to be spread, the county general to be spread in the summer, and the other senior citizens, Fairview Museum, and veterans would be spread on the winter tax bills. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Could I get a motion, please?
So moved.
I'll second that.
Moved by Lamore, supported by Huffman. Now are there questions on the motion? Hearing none, roll call.
Commissioner Wenzel,
Yes.
Commissioner Swartout,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore,
Yes.
Commissioner Levens,
Yes.
Commissioner Hoffman,
Yes.
Commissioner Asper,
Yes.
Commissioner Lamore.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, could I borrow Grace for a moment? I'm having a little bit of a problem with my computer.
Sure.
Thanks, Louis.
Just roll your mouse. Oh, is it? Yeah. Because mine did that. I just moved the mouse.
Grace, I'm locked. Consent agenda. I was going to talk about each of them separately.
Be a certain length, special character, and number.
We'll now move into the consent agenda. Item number 1, approval of non-claims. Letter A, check register dated May 9th, 2025, in the amount of $642,389.37. Could I get a motion on that, please?
Did we do the roll call for the millage? I thought we had a motion and then a
Oh,
support and then computer issues. Or no, did we do it?
Yep, we did roll call, and then the computer issues came up.
Okay.
and we're going to do one item at a time on the,
We'll just do both.
okay. And the item B is check register dated May 16th, 2025, in the amount of $600,689.28. Now could I get a motion on this, please?
So moved.
Support.
Moved by Lamore, supported by Swartout. Are there questions on the motion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Swartout,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore,
Yes.
Commissioner Levens,
Yes.
Commissioner Hoffman,
Yes.
Commissioner Asper,
Yes.
Commissioner Lamore,
Yes.
Commissioner Wenzel.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item number 2 is the Operations Committee and the report of the committee chairman from May 20th meeting. I'll turn it over to Vice Chairman Levens.
So we had two items on the Operations Committee agenda just prior to the regular board meeting. The first was a request from Chief Judge Michael Brown to have a part-time law clerk position that would serve all three of the district court judges to meet some of the increasing civil docket demand and other requirements they have. That passed the operations unanimous. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I'll give it back to you for a motion to accept the community place on file to approve adding a part-time law clerk provision with that supplemental appropriation indicated at $10,679 from the this year county contingency account covering the first district 2025 budget.
So moved.
I'll second that.
Moved by Asper, supported by Huffman. Are there questions on the motion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Moore,
Yes.
Commissioner Levens,
Yes.
Commissioner Hoffman,
Yes.
Commissioner Asper,
Yes.
Commissioner Lamore,
Yes.
Commissioner Wenzel,
Yes.
Commissioner Swartout.
Yes.
Motion carries.
The second and last item I had was a request to reclassify the juvenile division assistant classified from a grade 9 to a grade 10, which was unanimously approved by the Operations Committee. I did opportunity for some brief due diligence with our HR, Ms. Jeff McBee, who indicated that there were additional supervisory roles to this position, as well as with the officials that classify these grades, that was a justified grade. So with that, would request a motion to accept the commission place on file to approve reclassifying the grade 9 juvenile register position to grade 10 with the further recommendation to supplemental appropriation up to $6,396 from this year's county contingency account to fund the amount not covered in the probate court 2025 budget.
Can I get a motion, please?
I'll make the motion.
Moved by
Support.
Lamore, supported by Swartout. Are there questions on this motion?
Just a quick one.
Yes.
Okay, so the 6396 is not currently in their budget, and so we are using our budget to add to that for this to happen right now? Is that what you're saying?
Yep, so from our
Okay.
county's contingency in that amount less than $6,400.
Okay.
Additional questions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Levens,
Yes.
Commissioner Hoffman,
Yes.
Commissioner Asper,
Yes.
Commissioner Lamore,
Yes.
Commissioner Wenzel,
Yes.
Commissioner Swartout,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next, under Communications, a letter dated May 15, 2025, from Mr. Jason Berry, Community Planning and Engagement Director, requesting approval to submit an application for FY25 Planning Assistance Program grant to the Southeast Michigan Council of Governments, SEMCOG, in the amount of $45,000, including an 18.15% local match built into the grant. The project cost is estimated at $60,000 and requires county funded match of $23,200.
Make that motion.
Moved by Huffman. Is there support?
Second.
Supported by Lamore. Now I'll turn it over to Mr. Berry.
Well, good evening, Commissioners. Upon your direction and request, we, from the residents who came to us early in the year to look into a special project such as this, we did. Our planning department looked into the grant, and we were able to get the details to it, which is in front of you. This is just a feasibility study. I like to think of it that way, that and to see if this is even an option. It is mentioned in the county Parks and Recs plan as a suggested future project. And it's also in our Link 2.0 plan to connect parks with the Loop Trail. So we did reach out in as very short time as we had to try to garner up some support for it. Municipalities were concerned that a letter of support would commit them to a financial obligation for the future. I tried to assure them that was not our intention, but they did opt to stay out in that sense. We did, however, get some support letters from a number of different residents in the community for this project. So,
Can I
Yes.
clarify this, because we've had a number of different inter-community log rolling liaison projects we're doing. Is this the footbridge that would go from Waterloo Park over to the walking trail on the other side of the river? I don't know, by
North Custer.
North Custer?
correct. This is a pedestrian bridge only, and to try to connect, we had some staff from my department look into seeing how many people is in a 2-mile radius of where potentially this bridge would
So
be.
this
Yep.
feasibility study is gonna be approximately $23,000 from the county budget?
Correct. That would be our cost share to that grant.
And I'm gonna express my concern to my fellow commissioners, and I'm gonna take kind of the negative spearhead on this, if you will, and ask people to, think carefully on how we proceed, because it's nice to have our options. This isn't a lot of money, but it's also not a couple pennies either. I have had the opportunity to have a conversation with the Monroe Township Supervisor, John Manor, who has adamantly expressed to me zero support for Monroe Township for this program. I additionally spoke with members at the city that likewise did not have any support for this. And 2 out of the 3 municipalities, and both of them indicated that Frenchtown Township officials have no support on it. Supervisor Manor was very pointed. He said the potential match for Monroe Town would be about $2 million. And he said, Henry, that's half of our annual budget. And I know that we had some community members come here and express their interest for it, and it'd be a great thing if we could afford it, and there was that but there is no support for this. And and for a little tongue-in-cheek comment, one person said, wouldn't it be nice if there'd be a a placard on it, say, 100 years ago, all these people did. Well, the additional part of that plaque would be, and all the officials that spent millions of dollars were hanged from this same bridge, and that we could, have, that name. So I don't want to poo-poo an idea that may have had some potential, but I'm not going to waste $1, let alone $23,200 for something that isn't going to go anywhere other than be a waste of dollars and another white paper that's going to sit gathering dust on a shelf. So that's my comments, and I'm a no vote.
I have one question.
Yes.
Henry, what was the supervisor's
Both
from Monroe Township? What was his?
his opinion is that
Take
there's
on
no support for it. When I spoke to a couple city people, they said likewise, they have no support on it. I spoke with Commissioner Swartout, and I'm not gonna, this, farmer's kid turned attorney is not gonna talk tradecraft, and I know Commissioner Swartout with his building expertise, you indicated there's some big problems even, if there were financial support.
Yeah,
Besides
I also talked, it's okay. I also talked with John Manor, he called me about it. They've got a 3 or 4 year plan in place that they can't fit this in. And once it goes to the park, then it's their burden to put the other connections in. It's not a shared cost. And as far as the county goes, that bridge could cost $6 or $7 million. We would be taking care of the bulk of that. On the north side, there appears to be a lack of area to do the handicap accessibility and the things because the bike path in the North Custer is so close to the river.
Is that Frenchtown on the north side?
Correct.
Yes.
City.
City or
The
French?
trail is the city.
The trail's the
Frenchtown
city?
is across the street.
I see.
Where are we getting the estimate of $6 to $7 million for a footbridge?
That came up in the conversation. I think, Jason, you could,
Yeah, that's essentially what this study will help us find, if this is even possible. I mean,
Right.
you have people saying 3, 5, 7 million. We won't know until you do a study like this. And also, this is for the engineers to even see if this is, you have issues with being there's a shorter distance on the north side of that river where the city of Monroe owns the trail. We're not even sure, that it can land in there and be compliant with, everything it will need to be. So this study would help, to do that. In my best effort to maintain neutrality of this for you folks to make a decision, you do see, though, that there is this interest that's in the Parks and Rec plan. There's 24,000 people residing in this 2-mile radius of where this bridge would be, and it would essentially connect Monroe Charter Township to this bike trail. And it would essentially connect Frenchtown Township to Waterloo Park within walking distance. So there's some interest locally among the residents for something like this, but it's essentially up to you folks to decide if this is something we even want to try to move forward, because we can't without a study like this.
And Commissioner Levens, you're saying, and same with you, Commissioner Swartout, when you've talked to the officials, it basically comes down to
No interest.
we don't want to pay for it.
And not only that, when I spoke to some of the city folks beyond it, they said we already have the MLK Bridge that connects the parking lot to the south of the river to St. Mary's Park, and the recent maintenance on that existing bridge was up to $1 million. So this isn't just it was over $1 million. So let's say we get this boondoggle through at millions of dollars, you can count on a few years after that spending hundreds of thousands of dollars more with the maintenance and the upkeep and the rest. This is a hard no vote for me.
Yeah, and I think to add to that, I was at the city meeting last night in their work session, and they mentioned that they'd just like more information before they give a letter of support to this. So the city, and I know I spoke with the supervisor of Frenchtown, Al Van Washnova, and he was basically stating the same thing, that he wanted to see exactly what kind of monetary position they'd be put in by supporting this before they would actually give support to it. So, without the study, we're not going to know. But I guess the question I would ask is this something that we could foreseeably see in the future to go after this grant again, within a year?
Yeah, this grant does come up a few times a year. It has historically. That isn't to say it will, but it could
Well,
come up.
I think what I'm saying is we basically put it on their agenda now to look into it. So maybe we pass on it for now, and then in the future, hey, are you still interested? Maybe we want to try this again. Because I do agree that their 5-year look on their recreation plans, none of them had this in it. We have it in ours, but none of the other municipalities have it in theirs. So maybe it's something we want to pass on for now and then look into it in the future, because I do think it would be a great thing for the whole community in the region.
Yeah, like I said, it's on the Parks and Recs, their plan. The concern that you would hear from folks that would like to see it move forward now is that the Ralph C. Wilson Jr. funds are going to be one of the biggest potential revenue sources for a project like this, and there is time limits on much of that too. So that would be the counter, I'm sure, that they would say as to why to do it now.
Do you know what the time limits are on those and what the amount of the funds are?
I do not. They're not clear on that. I think what it appears to me is as the funds are exhausted, that would be the time frame. So they don't give exact dates though.
And that's just for the study part of it. Is there any other grants available for building purposes?
Well, we would go after those the Ralph C. Wilson Jr. grants for the actual project if we were to move forward for the actual construction of it.
I'm assuming those would probably have some matching capacity to it as well.
They could. We won't. There's not a whole lot of details that's provided until you get into actually applying. So,
Commissioner Huffman?
The residents that you mentioned, how many of them was for that? Were you saying that many thousands was?
24,000, yeah.
24,000
people.
was interested in seeing this thing go about.
No, I'm sorry. I wasn't probably clear enough. It's 24,000 live within a 2-mile radius of this.
But it wasn't they voted yay, we want it.
No, but we've been getting calls. One of the calls that we get is this is a place to park, so we can take our bike and we can get on the trail. Munson and St. Mary's are often busy, and so the idea among a few residents were that they could park on that northwest side of the trail and then get on their bike and go around. Frenchtown residents liked the idea of being able to walk over to Waterloo, and instead of what we all know is very busy at Munson throughout the summer. So there was support in that sense to get the full level of try to get all 24,000 people's input on that will take a little more time.
I'm just wondering if there's other ways to get that money to get it funded. Just because we say, well, we don't want to pay for it out of our budget now. There's federal grants, state grants. I mean, with all due respect, we voted on a study for a defender's office, and we didn't have anyone. The only people that had any interest in it was 5 of the 8 commissioners here. We had no one from the prosecutor's office come and ask for it, or anyone from the court system, or anyone from the public. But we still spent money on that feasibility study. So I don't know, the spending the $23,000 reason is kind of lost on me. But I do like the fact of putting a bridge there. I feel like it would kind of complete the trail plan that we've been working on for the last 6 years. And if we're going to, I don't know, give up just because we can't find a couple $1 million, which we found more for less, I would say we should try it, especially if we're getting a discount on the price. I don't know the last time I've ever seen a feasibility study done on a bridge for only $22,000.
And that's a full engineered study.
I
from
mean, engineers
Atlantic
don't
and
get out of
Smith.
bed for that.
Right, or
And a
Wade
correction,
Trimmer.
that feasibility study never went through. That was tabled for a letter requesting, so that was something that was a concept, but never made it past the concept. It ended up, for the MIDC, being a letter from the CFO asking for our, I just wanted to correct the record for that.
Okay.
We never spent any money. It was something that came to us, but never got any further than the concept level.
Thank you.
But I mean, when it comes to it, I mean, if these communities, have this skin in the game that they mention, I think it would be their budgets, dollars to fund the white paper for this, not us, in the woods with, allegations that people be interested in. I mean, that's the beauty of local government. If their locals and their officials with their budgets want this, they should be coming to us like what the city did for the train viaduct, where it was budgeted and requested, and we had those officials, here at the meeting promoting it. I just think that this is something that, while a wonderful concept, doesn't have the backing of the municipalities it's going to be located, either in spirit or finance.
And the other thing is, it may be more beneficial to us because Waterloo is somewhat underutilized. And by putting that bridge across the way from it, it would obviously open it up more. So I think we do have skin in the game on something like this. And I think it would be between the four of us to kind of direct which way we want to go. But I do agree that there isn't really any support currently from the other municipalities. So it is something we have to consider money-wise. Or, you know, and I think it'd be a great idea, and I think it's a great concept. Whether or not it actually will come to fruition after we see the price tag is a different story.
Additional questions or discussion? Commissioner Swartout.
Well, a couple other things that come into play. We did a little research, and they want the park to be open year-round, correct? Not seasonal, which it is now, which would add maintenance costs and other things for the county. And then when I talked to John Manor the last time, he wasn't sure how that could impact their noise ordinance too, for that
Well,
subdivision.
then parking and everything else.
Are they against fun? Is that what it is?
What's
In
that?
Monroe Town, they're against fun and people walking? Well, noise ordinance, what do you say? Spikes.
Yeah,
I think maybe we ought to.
I can say that, John's my friend,
yeah.
if he's
You know,
watching.
I heard Commissioner Hoffman saying we should table it, and I don't think that's a horrible idea.
I mean, till we get some more information on it here.
Well,
I make it
Because we're
further.
kind
I
of
think-
iffy.
the only
I
issue-
think Commissioner Levens is saying we have all the information, right? No one wants it.
I'm saying, don't bring it back to me until you got 3 supervisors and, or 2 supervisors and a mayor with a support and a check and a letter of endorsement with, let's rock and roll. I don't think it wise by us, knowing we've been told directly and hearsay that there's no support for this. There are plenty of other projects we could put 23,000 for a better county impact.
Any other comments? Roll call, please.
What are we roll calling on?
Chairman, you have one more.
Was there a
Original motion.
I guess the maker withdraw the motion and,
No, I was just, and I was just saying, to even do the study, I think if we end up doing the study in the future, I think that they should include an amount for the maintenance of it. We did that with our, when we did our President Monroe statue, that was private funding, a lot of it donations and everything, but I really do think we always have to consider what the maintenance costs are gonna be before we step into it, because it just
Yeah.
goes to whatever.
Yeah.
Commissioner Asper, I can tell you that when Monroe, when we redid when I was on council, when we reconditioned the pedestrian bridge, Martin Luther King Bridge, it was over $1 million, and it was, I believe, 35 years old at the time. So if
Well,
that
but
gives
if
you any
you-
scope of what that would cost.
Yeah, I'm just saying that we would, be saving that money, putting money
Sure.
toward doing that.
Yeah.
Rather than just saying, okay, we built it, now how do we maintain it 35 years from now? Give it to the
Could
next.
I add one more
We
thing?
don't want them hanging us again from the bridge.
If I may, there was consensus among the municipalities or a concern that individuals would circumvent other processes in play and current developments at the various parks and different things. So if you folks decide to table this, I would recommend that be contingent on folks going through the process, like the Parks and Rec Commission, to then garner that support, and then they do the outreach to the municipalities to gather that support, then come here and say, we've done all of that due diligence, to Commissioner Levin's point, with 3 supervisors supporting it or so.
Would you be open to amending your motion to that, table it until we have everything you just stated before, Henry?
I didn't make the motion, so I mean, the motion.
Oh, I thought you did.
No, the maker of the motion is welcome to withdraw their motion, then we can just table the matter for some other future date.
I say with the stipulations like you were saying, support from the local municipalities and whether
Well,
financial,
will
you know what I
the
mean?
Maker of the motion accept the amendment to bring this back with
I don't know who made the
I
motion.
think it's Hoffman.
I think it was Dave.
Yeah. Hoffman, will you accept the amendment to your motion that this be tabled until such time that the local municipalities come back with their unwavering political and financial support?
That sounds good, because when I sit on the.
Henry just killed it
and,
with that wording.
This thing was slamming pretty fast
Yeah.
when it was presented.
So that's a yes?
Yes.
All right.
I
does it-
second, yes, I'll do
okay.
that.
All right.
We got that? So then, so you're the second.
I am.
You agreed to.
Yes.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hoffman? Commissioner Asper?
Yes.
Commissioner Lamore?
Yes.
Commissioner Wenzel?
Yes.
Commissioner Swartout?
Yes.
Commissioner Moore?
Yes.
Commissioner Levens?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you, Jason.
Item number 2, a letter dated May 12, 2025, from Mr. Jeff McBee, Director, Human Resources, recommending approval of the tentative collective bargaining agreement between the County of Monroe, the 38th Circuit Court, front of the court, and the Technical Professional and Office Workers of Michigan, TPOAM, with a term expiring December 31, 2026. Could I get a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Levens, supported by Lamore. Now I'll turn it over to Mr. McBee.
Yep, with the change of representation of this group from the UAW to the TPOAM, we were actually able to get this done in one meeting, completely consistent with all of the other groups. So the compensation and the fringes are all the same, and we're ready to move forward. If you are, it's through 2026.
Other questions for Jeff? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Asper?
Yes.
Commissioner Lamore?
Yes.
Commissioner Wenzel?
Yes.
Commissioner Swartout?
Yes.
Commissioner Moore?
Yes.
Commissioner Levens?
Yes.
Commissioner Hoffman?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have no public hearing, so we'll move into old business. Item number 1, the Michigan Indigent Defense Department update. Hi, Ms. Gantos.
Good evening. Mary Gansos, Indigent Defense. I did call MIDC to ask them about your letter, and they said that it would be brought in front of the commission on June 24th when they have their meeting. And then I think his name is Daniel Clark, I'm not sure. He sent an email that I received that last week he had been ill for a few days, so we did not have his conclusion yet at this time. Okay? Thank you all.
Thank you. We'll now move into new business. Is there any new business?
I have one item, Mr. Chairman, that's been brought to my attention by some of the first responders and other concerned folks that we have been, since last fall, with a part-time director at the Emergency Management Department. Maybe some folks are unaware, but the last Fermi drill, we apparently did not pass with flying colors. There were certain aspects, in fact, that we failed for a drill, which is not typical. Usually Monroe County excels with our Fermi drills. In the interim for that, a part-time person has been put in that place. My understanding is a new, more impactful drill is scheduled, and we still don't have a full-time person there. And a lot of the first responders have expressed their concerns for that. The new, or the coming drill is going to be one of the, active, I don't have the proper jargon, but an under attack drill. And so this success of the drill is very important for the county. Not that it would affect our bond rating, but our grant applications. If we're not passing our Fermi drills, we may not be eligible for certain grants because we're not compliant. If we're not compliant, this also means our partnership with Fermi for its licensure and the rest when they look for other things. So I don't think it would require much, persuasion on my part to stress upon this body that we send this to HR to look about what needs to be done in not the long term, but the short term, that we have a qualified full-time candidate in place at EMD well in advance of that Fermi drill, so that way this time we pass and not fail again.
When is the next Fermi drill? What's our timeline? Jeez.
And this only recently came to my attention. We've had all these other things, going on, and we got to remember, in addition to, some of our little
Yeah,
crises we have, that we have regular business to conduct.
I can't remember the gentleman's name, but years ago when I was first on the board, we saw him pretty regularly, I feel like, in the board meetings, and we haven't seen anyone from that department in quite a while, have we?
We did, and we saw that gentleman all the time, and his name presently escapes me. He resigned to take on a mayorship.
Yeah.
South Rockwood, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he did.
And I was threatened by him because he stood about an inch or two taller than me, which I didn't appreciate, because I might not be the most handsome or intelligent, but I'm usually the tallest, and he beat me by that. But anyhow, he brought us grants and was
Right.
very proactive, and we've been a little bit at loss in the last year or so with this interim. So we need somebody that is doing the job, ready to knock out a Fermi drill out of the park and bring us the grants and follow-ups. It's also good we haven't been having floods and stuff, which was why that guy was coming in a little bit more. But anyhow,
Did you want to make a motion to make it official to direct HR to look
sounds
into
like
that?
you just did. I support it.
Okay.
Questions on the motion now, Commissioner Hoffman?
No, I just wanted to add to Henry, I know right now we got some intensive work going on our siren systems. We talked about that at 911 meeting this morning. So, I mean, we're getting our end upgraded, trying to, but I was not aware of this part-time. I'm trying to think of the same guy, because I remember him, I used to go to a lot of big deals with him, and
Well, what we don't realize is like emergency management, they're coordinating and triaging with all those 911, first responders, firefighters, police, sheriff, right? And
Yep.
I can't remember his
Commissioner
name.
Moore
But
and I have the volunteer fire departments. Bedford, we have our full-time fire department, and we see them every day in the community, and they're expressing their concerns.
I would like to call the question.
Roll call.
Commissioner Wenzel,
Yes.
Commissioner Swartout,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore,
yes.
Commissioner Lavens,
Yes.
Commissioner Hoffman,
yes.
Commissioner Asper,
Yes.
Commissioner Lamore.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Is there any other new business?
Well, I guess one more item, as we, I'm just putting it out there again. We will also need a full-time CFO for our organization, being that Mr. Bosonic put in his tentative letter indicating an October 1st retirement date. So I would ask Mr. Chairman to express your thoughts on that moving forward on how we're going to respond to that pending vacancy.
Well, I think October 1st is very soon to come, and so I think we need to expedite the process, get on top of it, and get moving with it. I know Commissioner Lamore has some concerns about this too, and he was, I think, going to express them, so I'll let you express your thoughts.
Thank you, Chairman. Yeah, I've spoken with all the commissioners so far, except for Commissioner Asper and Commissioner Heinzerling. But the thought was to obviously have our HR director head this up and get help from another HR director, Julie Everly, from the city of Monroe. We had experience with hiring the city manager recently in the city, and all I can tell you is it was a very pleasant experience in the hiring of the city manager there, and it was very professional, very out front, and very straightforward, and there was no questioning as to how we came to our decision, because everybody had an opportunity to basically fill in their thoughts as to what they thought of the candidates. And she basically put this out statewide, actually more than statewide. We had some candidates from Ohio, et cetera, express interest for that position. And it was an RFP from the city at that time. But I've spoken with our HR director about this, and he's expressed that he would be willing to get the assistance from Mrs. Everly, and I know that she's a very good professional, from her past job as administrator for the Monroe Public Schools, and her current job as the HR director of the city of Monroe. So I just wanted to put that out there so that we're all informed as to what I was putting out there. If you guys think there's something different that you'd like to do, I certainly would appreciate any thoughts that you may have in that.
Commissioner Swartout?
I guess my first question is, how did we do this process before? Is there anything in our policies and procedures to go by?
We did it before. That was when I was on the
15
board.
years ago.
We had a lot of committees that fortunately have gone by the wayside. At that time, there was a personnel committee, and in that committee, subset task forces were put together. And in basically what Commissioner Lamore is suggesting, promoting, is not too dissimilar with what was in the past, that there would, be somebody from HR, the leadership, accepting applications, and then the process would come before the board, typically, interviews with but right now is the first get the applicant phase. I mean, we're not to the vetting and just putting it out there, posting it, whether that's, Michigan Association of Counties, what other, Cranes, the rest, to get out there that, hey, Monroe County is looking for a CFO. And so that kind of answers your question, and then indicates like going forward, I hope.
And sooner the better.
Commissioner Asper.
Actually, I was thinking more on the order, I mean, we have somebody who's revered in the Midwest. I mean, every county in Monroe, or in Michigan would love to have him. And his letter didn't say October 1st. It said that would possibly, that's like date certain. So, I mean, if he wanted to tomorrow, he could leave and we would be in another mess. So I really, I mean, I respect the people at the city, but I really think that the level of performance that a county CFO performs at, and especially Mike Bosonic, I really would favor a headhunter, and a headhunter that really knows what we need. Because in Monroe, I mean, they've got two managers that go along with, I mean, they've got a lot of personnel at the top. We're just looking for one person, apparently. We don't have a succession plan anymore. So I really think that we're going to need somebody much more widely aware of who might be available. I think it might have been different had he had, if we look at our organization plan had somebody doing all these things along with him. I suspect he would have stayed had we kept that in place. I don't even know if we've changed our organization plan yet. I didn't vote on anything, I know. But I just think that the level that Mike Bosonic performs at, look at his evaluation the last time. I mean, it actually made the newspaper. It was so outstanding. So I really want to, I really think we need to up our game. We have the money to do it, to get somebody who is highly, highly qualified.
Mr. Swartout.
Well, I guess my other question would be, has anybody asked City Council if they'd allow her to do that? Because she's still going to be working there.
Yes.
So how is that going to work out? We don't know right now that they would even allow her to do that.
I have had a conversation with the city manager, and he's expressed interest in helping us in that search.
Did he talk about cost?
Yes, zero cost. Under that current arrangement where she assists our HR director.
Commissioner Levens.
And I think that's, the best preliminary first step forward, because we have all these professional organizations already in place, Michigan Township Association, Michigan Association of Counties, Cranes, other ones, that once you put this out there, with social media, electronic communication, it's gonna get out there, quickly. And I acknowledge, a headhunter is a good second option, but I believe the first step to see what we can do, the most cost-effective and efficient is just utilizing the folks we have. We have superb HR now with a little assistance from somebody that just went through that process, I think is the first step, because we do have a little bit of breathing room, not a lot of breathing room, because October, I don't want to say summer's come and gone, but unfortunately summer's going to come, and then there's going to be the fair and it's gone, and then October. So that being said, I think it's best to do this preliminary.
And to be realistic, I don't think October is realistic. I think it's more November, December before you actually put your nail on somebody.
Did we, you said Jeff and Julie, did we have any interest in having the current CFO have any input since he's ran the county for 15 years and pretty admirably?
Yes, we have had discussions with Mr. Bosonic. In fact, Mr. Graham was part of the discussion, and it was suggested by Mr. Bosonic because, you know, if it's a situation where you're going to be without a CFO for an extended period of time, then you have to look at an interim. And Mike Bosonic's suggestion was, why hand the baton off twice when you could possibly just hand it off once? And he said he would be willing to help with the transition. We're in discussion with them about that, though. So
Okay.
I think that's a possibility. I do think the time is of the essence. I agree with Commissioner Asper. I mean, he did say October 1, but you know, there's also something in that statement that said he could go before that. And so I think sooner rather than later, getting a start on this. So I would entertain some type of a motion if there's interest.
I'll make the motion that adopts, I'll just call it the Lamore Plan, so he's got some prideful skin in the game for its success, that we partner with our HR department, with the city's HR department, given the recent experience they've had with this process, to start the application search process, advertising this position in all of the relevant municipal trade publications, social media, electronic cranes, what have you, and get a report back to us within 60 days.
Yeah, put a time on that.
That's a lot of
No, how
time.
about this, 30 days with a status update to see if we need more time or a different approach. So to come back with us with a preliminary report of their efforts, successes, failures, recommendations in a month.
What's your start date from that? You're saying today?
From
And within
today's
30
date.
From today's date, okay. I'll second that.
Moved by Levinson, supported by Lamore. Now questions, Commissioner Asper.
Yeah, I have a big concern about a CFO coming into the situation where only I think it was 17% of the counties that were comparable to ours in population, in their, you know, the worth of their real estate, et cetera, in every way that we could, and we did a study on that. Only 17% of them did not have a deputy CFO. That was also, and we did that study back in, I want to say, 22. So I really feel like our county is going to be at a bit of a problem trying to attract somebody who would be doing, this is a county, and you got at the city level, you got 3 people at the top. I just think that it's going to be a challenge. So we need to get this rolling. We've had his letter for a while. I really think that, you know.
Well, I agree, let's get it done. I call the question.
Okay.
Roll call.
Well, I just had
And
a
would
quick
you
comment.
repeat it? You have to
I
repeat
withdraw
the
my call to
motion.
question.
I would just say probably because I haven't had time to talk to, I just found out about this at 10 minutes before the meeting. Haven't talked to Jeff, Julie, Michael, or our attorney about it. I'll probably be just a no vote on that front.
Any other comments?
I do know when Mike came on staff, he did come up the ladder, though. He was here and he came up the ladder.
So he had the historical knowledge.
Yeah, he came up the ladder.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Lamore,
Yes.
Commissioner Wenzel,
Yes.
Commissioner Swartout,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore,
No.
Commissioner Lavens,
Yes.
Commissioner Hoffman,
Yes.
Commissioner Asper.
No.
Motion carries.
Is there any additional new business? Seeing none, we'll move into public comment. This is the second half of public comment. Good evening, then.
Mark Hammond. That's who you're
Mark
thinking of from
Hammond, that's who
E&D,
it was,
right?
Mark
Yes.
Hammond.
Henry?
Yes,
Yeah,
correct.
Mark Hammond.
Here, I thought
Thank
you were going to talk about soybeans
Thanks,
or
Ned.
cars.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Thanks, Ned.
Today I was planting wildflowers.
Oh, I love that. Going to brighten up our lives.
Mark Hammond.
Mark,
Any other
that's what it
public
was.
comment? Oh, I'm sorry.
Good evening. My name is Philip Peters. I live in Van Buren Township. I work for the Michigan House of Representatives as a regional member service advisor for State Representative Jamie Thompson and Jim DeSanta. I mostly just function as an extra pair of eyes and ears for the reps. Sometimes I'll attend some meetings on their behalf. So I would like to make myself available to anybody after the meeting. If you have any concerns you would like for me to take back to the representatives, I could also bring something to the speaker's attention if you would like me to do that as well. And that offer goes for the body here as well as anybody else in the audience. So I will be here after. I'm hoping just to grab some contact information. And there are a few people in Monroe already I need to follow up with, but I'll be hoping to set up a meeting with you if you have an interest in talking later this week or early next week.
It's easy. Unfunded mandates, revenue sharing, and roads. There you go.
Yeah, sounds good.
Mental health.
And mental health.
Mental health, I have been hearing a lot about that, by the way, in just the last week in Monroe. So that is something that I'll be reporting back right away.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Rita Benicki, Reasonville Township. I'd just like to speak a little bit on behalf of Mrs. Everly. I appreciate Mr. Pasonic greatly because I've known his family for years, and he came from a really good family, and so he is valuable, very valuable, and I know he's done a great job. But when it comes to Mrs. Everly, I retired from Monroe Public Schools, and I worked for them for 20 years. So during that time, I worked mostly with Mrs. Everly in a lot of different aspects. I sat on many of the boards with her, interviewing. I was on the panel many times with her. I interviewed with her many times when I moved up through the ranks, and she's a wicked interviewer. And if she gives somebody a recommendation, 9 times out of 10, Dawn, you can trust her with that because she's hard to deal with, and she means what she says. So I am just saying that I think you can trust her, that when she says it's a good person, that she means that. And she used to be our HR director at Monroe Public Schools, and then she moved on up to superintendent. But during those times, she hired some really good people, and I worked with most of them myself. So I think you'll find her recommendation valuable. So thank you.
Hi, I'm Maria Zagorski. I live in the city of Monroe, and I just have to note it's Dr. Everly. She has a PhD.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Danielle Hoover. I'm speaking as a citizen only. I am not representing Washtenaw County Community Mental Health, or any other person, group, or organization I'm affiliated with. I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm the only Dem that's running for that seat. And a little bit about me, my family and I live in the city of Milan, right near like the fire department and the city center. And I work for Washtenaw County Community Mental Health, and I have since 2013, first as a case manager, and then I became a supervisor in 2022. I'm a union member. We have AFSCME there. I'm in Local 3052. I'm a steward, and I'm also a delegate to the Huron Valley Area Labor Federation, and I'm also a newly elected recording secretary there. I'm the Michigan Board of Social Work Vice Chair. I'm a member of the Medical Reserve Corps in both Washtenaw County, where I work, and here in Monroe County. Oh, and I also work part-time with adults as a telehealth therapist with Pure Psychiatry of Michigan, and I just do telehealth therapy, but I'm assigned to the Monroe office. And I hope to do in-person appointments at some point. A little bit more about my family. We have a middle schooler and a high schooler. And they've gone to Milan area schools, K through present. And we have a senior this year, and that's pretty exciting. So I welcome any questions at any time. Anyone's that's listening to this, if any of you all or any future constituents want to talk, I'm more than happy to do that. So thank you so much.
Are there any other citizens who wish to participate in public comment? Seeing none, we'll move on. There are no announcements. We'll go into members' time. Commissioner Moore?
Oh, yeah, just two quick things. I wanted to just expand on my no vote. I know Dr. Everly pretty well, too, and she's an amazing person, so it wasn't anything personal about that. It's just, you know, I'm told about this plan that had obviously been talked about with other commissioners 10 minutes before the meeting starts. I like to do my due diligence. As a real estate agent, is what I do full time, and as a county commissioner, I would have liked to sit down and talk with Jeff, talk with Dr. Everly, talk with our council, even talk with Mike Bosonic as well too. And it puts me in a bind when I'm told about it 10 minutes before the meeting starts. Commissioner Asper never told about it, and Heinzerling doesn't get to vote on it, I guess, for something that's very, very important. So that was my no vote there. It was just, like I said, kind of sprung on me and told to me before I could do my due diligence. And I'll be darned in 8 years if I've ever made a vote as a county commissioner where I didn't do my due diligence. And then second, have a good Memorial Day. I'll be camping locally at Sterling State Park, which is a beautiful park, one of the busiest state parks in Michigan. So if you're out there, come say hi. I'll be in a camper. I'll pass.
Commissioner Swartout?
I'll pass.
Commissioner Lamore?
Thank you, Chairman. I can appreciate that, Commissioner Moore. I have no problem with that. My intentions were not to have this voted on tonight, just to give you information. So I can understand your concern with that.
Yeah, I
But,
think you told me that too privately. Didn't to
Yeah.
be full, you know, it kind of went to a vote. That's
It's
why I
not
said no,
always
but
the
I know
easiest
that
thing
wasn't
to
your
discuss
intention.
with each commissioner, but I wanted to make sure everybody had a fair chance, and I apologize to Commissioner Asper and Commissioner Heinzerling as well for not getting that information to them sooner. And thank you, Ms. Zagorski, for bringing that up. It is Dr. Everly, not Julie. I'm used to seeing her in a one-on-one basis, so thank you for bringing that up as well. But I think she can help us immensely, and I know that our HR director, Jeff, is extremely gifted at this as well. Just he may not have had the experience of hiring such a person in the past, and I think that her professionalism can help him, you know, in the future as well with her experience that she's had in doing this. So that was my reason for bringing her into the hiring process. But that's all I have. Thank you.
Commissioner Asper?
No offense taken.
Thank you.
So I wanted to congratulate the MCOP on their 60th. And I believe you said they had like 30 or 40 more people than they actually originally thought they were going to have for reservations. So that was wonderful, financially as well. And they are so important to our community. I mean, just so important. And I wanted to also announce, and we did get these invitations, but just for everyone, that there's going to be an open house on Thursday, June 5th from 3 to 7. We have our new kind of grand opening for the clubhouse, the River Raisin Clubhouse. And it's where the old Panera Bread was, if you know, on Telegraph Road. So I just really would appreciate seeing everybody there if they can make it out. And this is just a really big step for mental health to get this building and so on and so forth. So I just would like to invite you all out.
Commissioner Huffman?
Well, we all got to say a prayer before we go to bed tonight till we get the right person as our CO. And then I have one thing to say. You know I got kind of harsh on the road commission here a little bit, but sometimes an extra little boost really does the trick because they've done a great job. They did the job in-house, and they were talking about an outside contractor could have cost who knows how much, 50, 60, 100,000. And they replaced the crossing at Wells Road near Lulu, and all smiles for many of the folks, and our taxpayers are happy with it. And many of the residents are already calling and saying, thank you, how could we do this so fast? So we know if we put our mind to something, we can do it. And we have an outstanding road commission right now, and they proved it here to me. Because this road, where they were talking, was gonna be closed for the whole season. And here we are, just short, it's opened up, and everybody's sailing through. That's it, thank you.
Commissioner Levens?
I pass.
Mr. Graham, do you have anything to add?
Nope, I appreciate the meeting, and all I would say about this hiring practice, this is a big deal for this community to go through it, and it's a fluid situation, so we're starting this way, and things can change as we move forward. We'll just have to follow it as we go, and, you know, Jeff will have to hopefully spearhead it and keep us abreast of what's going on, so that's all I would say, is that this is a fluid thing, and that we'll keep tabs on it and follow it, and if we have to take a little different direction sometime, we can.
Thank you. And I'll pass. So with that, motion adjourned. Meeting adjourned.